Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build model kits and hang out with you. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat. If you're a subscriber, you can throw those back at me or just say hi like a Arista fan. And Mr. Bob did. Mr. Bob also, before the stream started, as you can see there in the text, renewed their subscription. That's 30 months as a subscriber at Tier 1. Mr. Bob, thank you for your continued generous support. It means a lot to me. And thank you so much for that, my friend. Lashbrook is here. Dude Wants His Rug is here. Lord Stockton is here. We've got a killer crew already. If this was our crew for the whole stream, well, I would like more people to watch it than just the people we have. But also, that's a great crew. And I'm not complaining about those fantastic folks here in the chat. I just, I like doing this and having people. I like new people coming in. I got good stuff to talk about, got things to build. Some people ask me like, hey, are these one-piece kits worth it? And do I say it's a different kind of building? Like, really, when you look at this, like, yeah, we got to build the bottom of the boat. We got another paddle put on here. We got some Harold is hosting the stream. Thank you very much, Harold, for hosting. Appreciate the host, Harold. But yeah, I mean, it's different. It's not the same kind of like, yeah, we got to put some sails on here. We've got more building to do. But really, it's about this. It's about all the stickers. So if you're doing Perfume, Yuda, lots of stickers. Obviously, the Polar Tang, smaller kit, less stickers. This is probably the most stickers I've ever applied on a kit before. And that's not even counting the water transfers, which we might get to today. I don't know. We will be doing the Jolly Roger, which is, there's the skull design. And we will be putting the text here at some point. I don't know if we're going to do that today. I don't know if we're going to get to that today. I actually have no idea. We might get to it on Wednesday, which is our next build stream. We're going to get building proper in just a moment or two. I like to do the old hangout here, get settled, let people come in. Some people are never ready, right at the start, all that. Not to be confused with a Jolly Rancher. You're right, Harold. You don't want to confuse those. Because one is a candy and the other is a pirate flag symbol. It is a skull. Often skull and crossbones, occasionally not, but mostly involves a skull. Sometimes no crossbones, like this one. No crossbones at all, but definitely the skull. But yeah, that's your Jolly Roger. It's one of the most important things. It's the symbol of your pirate crew. So some stuff happened today, nothing major, but things happen. We'll talk about that. But yeah, we got some stickers to apply. We're going to hang out here. We'll hopefully get a few more folks to join us as we get into assembly. Continue to assemble and build. I might have been saying something before I got distracted. I don't know. But yeah, we're going to hang out here. So wait for a few folks to join us. But yeah, we get some building to do, some assembly. Oh, my schedule. That's what I was going to say. So I'm building tonight. And I'm building on Wednesday instead of Thursday or Saturday. So Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you can come, I would love for you to come. Also, I'm doing a third stream, a bonus stream. So not 3 days of building, but on Tuesday, you could come at 8 p.m. Eastern for like an hour and a half of singing. I'm going to do Twitch Sing stream. I'm going to sing some songs. And as we do often with Twitch Sings, not all the time, but often, there will be some links to donation up during that stream. And during the link to that stream, if you make a donation of $5 to various means, you are buying a song. You are saying, here's $5, Pat, now sing this song. And you can pick whatever song you want that is available in Twitch Sings. And I will do my best to nail that song. Maybe it's one I've never practiced before, never performed on the show. Maybe it's a song I never heard before. But I will do my due diligence to nail it. That's the thing that's going to happen tomorrow. But that's not what we're doing here. We're not doing that here. We're building a model kit here. This kit, the Perfume Yuda. Which is from One Piece. And yeah, we're going to get started with that in like a moment. We're seeing if anybody wants to join us, wants to pump in the chat, and hang out and watch. But we'll get started with the stream, and we'll get to build in. I will complain about a thing, and then look, it's at the end of the day, it's fine. I had to mail some stuff, right? And had to go to my post office. Now, I've complained about this before. I even linked to an article about how bad my post office is. It is one of the worst post offices in New York, which is saying a lot. So I get there and I get my stuff together. What do I need to do? I need to mail 2 big, thick envelopes, priority mail, and I need to mail a letter. I need to buy a stamp. I'm going to go to the machine. My local only has 1 machine, so you can wait in line, or you could wait in another line for that 1 machine. All my stuff I can do. I know where it's got to go. It's all going to be fine. I can pay it all at once. I'm just going to go wait in line, right? Okay. So I'm in a line of about 4 people waiting to use the machine. Now, this is a Monday, so obviously people couldn't do this stuff early over the weekend. So the fact that there's some people waiting in line, that's not a big surprise, right? That's not surprising. That's not weird. That's just, it is what it is. You're like, like, I'm not like, oh, I can't believe there are people here. Like, I get it. Of course there are people here. So I'm waiting in line, and there are no other. I mean, look, the other option is I wait in an even longer line, right? So to talk to a human, but I don't need a human to these things. I need a machine to do these things. So I'm waiting in line. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And then, people are coming and going. People are leaving. People are waiting in line. There's another line for people that are waiting to get, like, their packages that weren't deliverable. They're waiting for that. They got to go deal with that. And that's always frustrating because sometimes you have the little paper and it's wrong and all that stuff. People are dealing with that stuff. I'm trying to be, like, zoned and chill. I'm on my phone. I've got a podcast going. I think it's going to be fine. And then I just start hearing something. And of course, I got these little guys. They're not noise canceling at all. They're just Bluetooth head things and easy enough to use. I got those in. They happen to be right there, so I showed them off. They're not great, but they're good. So I got these going. I'm like, whatever. I don't care what's going on. Well, somebody's mad. What are they yelling? They're just loud. Maybe they're just fucking loud. I don't know. I'm a loud dude. Whatever. But eventually, the person who's in front of me in this short line keeps turning around to look to see what's going on. And I'm like, okay, now I guess I want to hear what's going on. So I take an earbud out, or a bud out, and I hear this guy going, well, who does this belong to? Well, it belongs to somebody, so whose is this? Well, somebody better answer me who this belongs to. Whose card is this? Whose card is this? Whose card is this? And that's what's happening. And that's when I realize this is not a customer of the post office. This is an employee of the post office who wants to know who has their cart unattended, like one of those square 4-wheel carts, bigger wheel in the back, short in the front. They are often referred to as granny carts or grocery carts. They're collapsible. You know what I'm talking about. You can put your laundry in there. You can buy some groceries. It's great for places like New York where not everyone's got a car. So I was like, wait, the person making all of this noise and disrupting everyone's chill attitude, like trying to be chill, seething rage attitude, is an employee. And then eventually, someone walks over to their cart and he starts going in the same voice that I had said earlier. Now he's talking to a person. Why didn't you answer? Why didn't you come get your cart? And then she just stares at him for a really long time. And he's like, what? Do you not speak English? What's your problem? And then somebody else in line just goes, she doesn't need to speak English. Stop yelling. And so then he walks over to go yell at the person that yelled at him. and they're yelling at each other, and they're screaming at each other. And then you could hear other employees working in the post office who were like, well, one, they are not stopping what's happening. They are not getting involved, but they are also occasionally like giving their feedback and their input on what's happening. And it's one of those things where you're like, the person who is behind me, because I've now fully turned around. I'm not keeping an eye on my line, but I am engaged in what's happening. The person who is there turns to me and goes, have you ever seen a fight in a post office? And I'm just like, I think we might just see one, because I honestly thought that the person who was mad that the employee said some shit and was being this way, and the employee were going to get in a fight. And I was like, I have never seen a fight in the post office, but this is the post office where I would see a fight. Eventually, meanwhile, also, as this argument is happening, I want to make this very clear. Lord Stockton says, I've heard employee and customers shouting at each other in a post office and a DMV. Post office workers and DMV workers don't take any shit. Totally right, Lord Stockton. And look, leaving something unattended, like, I get that. I get that this employee wants to know who this belongs to. But, like, it escalated in a way. Yeah, Mr. Bob, the thing is that it is over a cart. It starts with a cart. But it's really about, like, people being stressed and being angry, and then also taking into consideration, like, this dude, like, did not need to, once this person comes to get their cart, this dude does not need to be this way. And it should have been the end of it, and it wasn't. But I should point out that this person, while this employee is yelling at this person in line, the line is moving slowly, and he's still in line. So eventually it ended because he just walked away to go and do whatever he needed to do, and the person who was working there was just like, went back to what they were doing as if they hadn't been screaming at each other. And I was like, oh okay, I guess we're all going to pretend like this didn't happen. I was only there for about 15 minutes, and about 13 of that 15 minutes was this thing. Because at the point where they stopped arguing was when I got to go up to my machine and get what I needed, and then get out of there. But it was just like, hey y'all, it's a Monday. How about we all chill? Harold says, I went to get my ID renewed last week, and it was totally uneventful. I mean, great for you, Harold. That's awesome. Congratulations. And then Mr. Bob says, I know you linked that article, and you always talk about how bad it is, but wow. Yeah, I mean, it's not a good, like, it's just not a good post office. And I just wonder if, my feeling was, it might be that no one else got involved because of this employee, and people were just like, I know that this will not end well. It's too early in the year to fight. It's only February. Right? Yeah. Ultron, that's totally accurate. It's just too early for this. All right, so we are applying stickers here. Things are very narrow here. We are working on the Yudas, which are a snake-like dragon, kind of like, or serpent creature in the world of One Piece. These are alive and are at the front of this boat, which is a weird thing. It's a weird thing. It's not the only indentured servant animal or creature in One Piece, certainly, but it is one of the more unique. So I gotta be careful with these stickers as I apply them. Every post office I have ever been to in LA felt like it was just like, I have to be polite as hell because the employees is an instant away from just punching anyone. Yeah, I can hear that, Lord. Or I can understand that, Lord Stockton. Yeah. Just the vibe is like, okay, you have to be presentational and performative and just smile and be like, you have a great day, and do what you need to do, because this is everything feels like a razor's edge. Yeah. I've been in situations like that with employees where I'm like, okay, well, I know what's happening right now is not about me, but I also cannot comment on it. You to just deal with it. Okay. So there's gonna be a lot of stickers in these kits, but we're gonna figure it all out, and it's gonna be all great and easy. Um, Really, honestly, the thing that's going to be the more annoying part of this kit coming up is these paddles, because these paddles just have a lot of black stickers on them. Just like a ridiculous amount of black stickers have to go on these paddles, and that's going to be more annoying than anything else. Uh, that I'm not super looking forward to, but this part here is going to be okay. Mr. Bob says, the worst I've had it is an employee told me I don't live in my home. Yeah, because how do you argue with that? Like, what do you do with that? Like, that's a bit of nonsense that someone has sprouted at you. And you'd be like, well, I understand that you work for the post office, but also, I live in that house. I would see if you can use Sharpie instead of stickers. Mr. Bob, I hear what you're saying. I certainly will look at kind of like doing some replacement stuff here and there, possibly using a fine Sharpie. You can see it on the boat. Like, I don't know if it's like really necessary. I think this sticker here is definitely necessary, but I don't know if I'm going to need all the parts of that wheel to have those stickers. But we'll see. We'll see how tedious it is. I'm gonna. This is definitely an involved thing, and we're not shying away from the challenge of getting this all done. The kit that I'll be building next, I believe, is the Common Rider, and that's much more of a straightforward build coming up in the future. So this is going to go clips in. That doesn't seem right. Oh. Okay, yeah, clips in. Okay. All right, so we'll put that there. And now we have the head done. So now we can work on the assembly of the rest of this. And so we'll start looking at the bottom of this. Yeah, it was just like one of those things where I'm like, this is just going to be such a long part of my day. It does not need to be this long. My day does not need to be this. Oh, can we figure out a way to fix this problem? And that's why I try to do anything when it comes to like that post office in particular. My goal is to just get whatever I need and get out as soon as I can, and not hang out. Okay. Because otherwise it becomes a thing, and I'm not looking for a thing. I'm looking to get in and out. All right, so we'll put the stickers on, and then we will attach the head. We have 3 stickers to apply. Oh no, sorry, we have 2 stickers and 2 water transfer decals you can put on here. I didn't realize that these were some water transfers that are going to go on there, so we will look at that in a moment. But let's first do the there. I thought the sails were the only water transfers we were doing today, but it looks like we can do a piece of this body here. It's pretty cool. 73. All right, so this is the sticker that's going to go on here. And what we're going to do is we are going to, so I don't know if you can see this. There's a little bit of a notch right here where the belt goes, and then we will apply this. We will use that as our point of reference and try to get that lined up. And then that way we can put this on. And if that's right, then then our placement of this should be right as well. Yeah. A lot of notches in this so that the bends are even. And we're just going to do our best, right? You know? That's all we can really do with a kit like this that has so many stickers that, you know, have notches in order to bend them, and the placement could feel a little off here and there. We're just going to line them up where we want. And I'm going to let this sticker adhere a bit here before we do the water transfers. Just for safety's sake, we'll let that kind of get where it needs to go. And then, then we put that there. And basically, that's just going to go, this is 15, that's just going to go here. It just lives right there, around the boat, which is pretty neat. But yeah, we've got we can do the water transfers, but I'd rather wait a little bit before we do that. Let this kind of just adhere a little bit and stick. Get all ready. So we'll do the other one while we wait for that. And that's literally, we're going to do what we did there just again. Nothing spectacular with that, just a thing we're going to do. Let's see. I've been prepping, getting things ready. All of my guests for Pepper's Anime Club have sent me stuff to talk about, and I'm starting to put that all together. I'm getting that all ready. One of my guests has not sent me the order. So basically I was like, hey, pick 3 to 5 shows you want to talk about, and then tell me the 3 you definitely want to talk about, because we're definitely not going to get to, like, in an hour, we're not going to talk about 20 shows. Hype indeed. So I was like, pick the ones you definitely want to talk about, and then the ones that you're like, well, if we get to it. And that's kind of like where I'm at. Like, I picked, I think, 6 shows just because I wanted to have plenty to talk about. But the nice thing is, for me anyway, is this is not going to be the last live Pat Bear's Anime Club, so I can save them for another show. And I don't think Pat Bear's Anime Club will always be talking about the shows we love, or yelling about the shows we love, I should say. This theme that I'm doing for this one. Because why would I want to reuse that theme where I can do other things? I will say that I had a friend reach out to me about doing it at a convention in New York this year. So I am most likely going to submit Pat Bear's Anime Club for that. And that, I don't want to spoil anything because also it hasn't been confirmed. It's just like, hey, we don't get enough anime content at this convention. Would you want to do it there? We could, it'd be fun to promote that, and we could help serve our audience with a little more stuff. And I was like, yes. Yes, I do want to do that. Let's do that. So the idea of doing it again, I'm excited about, because I would say, haven't done the panel live yet, but I really like the idea, and I think that people could enjoy it. Yeah, I'm excited. Harold says hype, and I'm getting hyped. Yeah, I've got, I am producing and, a part of 2 panels that are mine with great guests, and then I'm on 3 other panels, one of which is directly after one of my panels in the same room, which was lucky. I'm so glad that I do not have to run, after Pat Bear's Anime Club, I do not have to run somewhere. I just have to unplug my laptop so that Dave Lang can plug his in for Let's Rank It. I'm very excited about that. And then I have Thursday, one panel. I am doing Easy Baking Challenge. That is streamed. That's going to be streamed on twitch.tv/PAX3. I believe. Yeah, I believe that is the case. Yeah. But yeah, Easy Baking Challenge will be on. I will also host it here in this chat, so people that want to hang out in, and don't want to be in the regular old bigger PAX chat can just watch it in here. So I'll do that because that's I think nice to be able to do, to be able to offer. And Friday I have a Friday morning panel that will not be, as of right now. I cannot tell you anything about like it being filmed or recorded. Hidden Gems. I'm a guest on Hidden Gems. I do not know the status of. I know it's not being streamed. I do not know if they're going to record it or what the plan is for that panel. I just know I'm on it and I'm excited to be on it. And then I have Improvised Postmortem, which is my panel, which will be streamed, and I will also rip that stream and put it on my YouTube. So people can watch that on my YouTube if they don't want to watch the streamed archive. And then what else? Oh, yeah. Then Saturday I have Pat Baer's Anime Club, and then I have Let's Rank It again. I do not know if Lang is going to audio record it for his podcast or if he will do anything with it. I mean, I'm filming Pat Baer's Anime Club, so if I have time to dump my the files between panels, I could always just record Let's Rank It, but I don't know. That's up to Lang if he wants me to just hit record. And then the next thing after that, I can't say what I'm doing on Sunday, but I'm going to be in a panel as a guest. But I don't think I can talk about that. It's nothing. It's nothing that like I'm not teasing it. I just literally think that I am. It's just a bit I'm doing. It's not like a big deal. So I'm doing a thing on Sunday, I guess, and then I'll come home. Harold says, hi. Hello. Harold says, I talked about all the panels I'm considering attending on the podcast, including all 5 years. Hence today, Pat Baer is everywhere. Yeah, I'm in a bunch of panels. It did not start out that way. I have wanted to do the Easy Baking Challenge for quite some time. So I was very happy when I got invited to do that. And I've wanted to have, Hidden Gems was a thing that I was definitely interested in doing. I had a conflict with it previously, so I wasn't able to do it before. Excited to do it now. We had a big jump in viewer numbers there that I don't know if was real or what. But hello to folks that are just tuning in to this stream. There's going to be a lot of stickers. We're talking about a bunch of different things. We're putting a bunch of stickers on this Perfume Yuda from One Piece. This is Boa Hancock's ship. It is a lot of stickers. If you did not see the top of the stream, there's a lot of stickers. And we're doing stickers as we go. Some people assemble the whole thing and then take apart what they need to put the stickers in. Some people will go through all the steps and put all the stickers on before they do any assembly and then go back. I find that I generally do it as we go. With water transfers, I'm often wait till the end. I think we're going to do the 2 water transfers today just because I talked about it saying I was going to be doing the stream today. So I want to, at the very least, do it. And then also, the big thing with water transfers is I'm not good at it yet. So doing them is the best way to get better at it. And people can learn from my mistakes, which that's good too. All right, so we'll apply this here. We got our line. We can apply the sticker here. Oops. It's over. Got to bend over corners here. In the second hour tonight, we don't have a lot of anime to talk about, but we are going to talk about. Oh boy, I can't wait to talk about Eizouken. I got teary-eyed watching this last night. The new episode of Eizouken. Really, really got me. It got me like twice. It got me in the part where I expect it's supposed to get people. It got me in the parents who have been opposed to the thing their child's doing, kind of understanding that their kid is growing up and being more into what their kid is like, just that kind of thing. That's supposed to play at your heartstrings. But then there's also another thing that really got me as like, I don't know, I was just real into it. Uh, I wonder if someone sells a bunch of water transfers, you could practice. I mean, Mr. Bob, like that's also a thing where I could like go into some old kits and like I like leaving them in some kits that I never did. But yeah, I bet that like I could get some. I could like ask a store if they had any like random water transfers just hanging out to practice. I don't know if that would end up happening, but that is something I could investigate if I wanted to practice. Mostly it's just like doing it as I do and doing my best with it. Obviously, ruining a water transfer is a big bummer. Um, but you just do your best and you are hopeful that you can nail it. All right, so we got our Yudas here, our snake-like creatures that are. They are going to go on our ship here, like that. But we are going to take them off because we need to put on water transfers. These, in particular, need to go on. And these are just dots that are going to go on there. So, okay. We've got water. Put it there. We've got Q-tips, or whatever, cotton swabs. We've got tweezers. We got an X-Acto knife. We are going to cut out a general shape here. We are going to dunk the item in water. We will then do our the attempt will be to take that item out of water and slide it from the backing to the piece. We also might want to, instead of doing that, you hold it and then dig underneath and peel it away from that and then place it like you would a regular sticker. With the sails, we may the slide works better for this, which is a very small surface that we are placing on. It might actually serve us better to just do the to do that method. So cut out. Just gonna cut out. And people have a lot to say about water transfers. I am no expert. I would say you can check in with experts who are going to have much more. Who are going to be much more knowledgeable about this stuff than I am. We're going to do both sixes at once, and then we will do both sevens. Both sixes are going to be this side of the Yuda. So we can lay it like that. But yeah, we are going to put this in water. It is now in water. You don't need to leave it too long. You don't need to leave it too long in there. You're just getting it wet. You're going to separate from that. I have no good information for you if it has been a long time since the kit has been, was purchased. I know that sometimes that makes it hard to separate them and for the transfer to happen off the paper because sometimes it's just been there for too long. So I know that is an issue. But as I said, I am still learning. This is a thing I never did before I started streaming. So, a couple of years ago, or like last year was the first year that I was like, I am going to attempt to learn how to do this because I would like to know. All right. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Let's put that in the water for a second. Oops, I shook the whole table. All right. Whoop. Gonna get this wet here. Apply it how we want it. Let's go this way. Sorry, I'm getting so quiet here. I would like this to work. Uh, this one I feel less like, oh, I need this to look great than the other. The ones that are going to be on the sale. I think those need to kick ass. Whereas this, I would like it to look good, but if it doesn't, I'm okay. All right. All right. That is not done. That is not right. Backing is still on this one. There we go. Okay. That had not fully removed itself from the paper. All right, well, that's not sticking. So we'll try with the other ones. Again, I am not an expert in this. I am clearly just somebody who's trying their best to see what I can do with this kind of a thing. I we'll move on if this doesn't end up looking right. Because yeah, if you're doing a surface thing, you can put it right where you want it, and then you just get a Q-tip, you're gonna put it on there, and you're gonna slide over. We can, at the very least, see if we can get this to move off the paper. Which it doesn't seem to want to do. Just put that there. As I said, if this isn't going to be a feasible outcome or a preferable outcome, then we will move on to the next thing. Yeah, that's just not coming off the paper. Yeah, all right. We're going to call an audible on that. We will, if we get to the sales, we will endeavor to nail that. But we will not have tattooed polka dot water transfers on our Yudas. That is not a thing that I think is going to happen on the stream today. That's okay. I think these look great. I think this is a cool part of the ship, and I'm all right with that. Part of doing this stuff is knowing, hey, there are folks out there that are incredibly gifted when it comes to these things and can nail that every time. And it's not, to them, not even a joke. To me, it is not a thing that I am confident in doing, and I'm okay with that. When I first started doing these streams, I didn't do regular stickers. A couple kits I found that I hadn't done the eyes for the Gundam. I hadn't done any sticker work at all because I just had no confidence in my ability to do them and was always like, stickers. And then, you get a kit like the Dragon Ball kits, and, well, You want the tongue to be there, you want the eyes to be there, and then you start looking at your kits and you're like, well, this high grade kind of doesn't pop unless it has this piece here. Kind of want this to pop. Okay, let's just do it. And then, and then I think it ends up looking pretty dang sharp, but it can be a rough thing, and dry transfers I have never been successful with, and I don't think I would ever try again. I mean, I'll try again. That's a lie. I would try again, but I will be incredibly cautious of dry transfers. All right. So that's that. All right. This is the easy sticker. There are 2 stickers for these paddles, or well, 2 types of sticker for these paddles. And one of them is way easier to apply than the other. Let's just get underneath all these tabs. All right, great. Let's see. Anything else? Yeah, I'm getting ready for Boston. I think this is all going to work out pretty good. Getting all my ducks in a row for that. Trying to get stuff done before I go. Trying to set up a few things for when I leave. I'm going to try to see a few things while I'm there. A few games. There's a cool looking new game that Finji announced that I want to check out. So coloring, like adding color to a world and doing some puzzle solving with it, that looked just like neat and cute. And I am interested in seeing more about that. One of my favorite things is go to Indie Mega Booth and go to Indie Tabletop. I'm definitely going to try some Indie Tabletop, especially now that I am going to be doing a panel where I can talk about those things for an audience, hidden gems. And that adds a weight to it, right? Now I've added the weight of, okay, well, I want people to, like if I see something great, I now have the ability to go tell people. I remember the second 404ing it at PAX South, I had a really large turnout. No, sorry. This is the first year. The first year for PAX South, we had a very large turnout, and it was Friday at like 1 p.m. So it was, for basically all intents and purposes, it was the early in the show, right? So people were really interested in coming to it. It was the first PAX South. Jeff Gerstmann was on the panel, and so it was like kind of a no-brainer. We had a lot of people come, and I was able to tell like 900 people that, hey, you should go play Bring Your Own Book. It's a really cool tabletop game where they have a bunch of books for you. It's you're playing it's a board game or a tabletop game, and you're going to random pages in a book to solve to help you out, and it's like very clever and fun. And I also like that they don't have a lot of space, but they have a little bookcase with books there because they assumed you didn't bring a book to PAX. And it was a cute game, and like that was part of the PAX 10 or whatever. But I didn't know if it was going to get a lot of love. And then later at Giant Boss panel, Drew Scanlon also promoted the thing, and a bunch of people went to the point where this has never happened before or since. By telling people that they should go check out Build Your Own Book, it got people to go check it out, and then people were saying, "Oh, I heard about it on this panel." That when I stopped by, because I had played it on Friday, when I stopped by at the end of the weekend to play it again, the guy was like, so please fill this out so we can send you a copy. Thank you so much. People kept saying that they heard about it from you. And we had a really busy day on Friday because of that. And it was one of those things where like, oh, cool. Like, one of the best things the feel good things about my show 404ing It, which was the panel where I talk about great things on the internet and have people share their favorite things from the internet. That is the goal of that thing was always that someone could walk out from that panel, or when it was a live stage show at UCB before that, and a little crossover, but before that was that people could walk out of that panel and be like, you know, check their phone and go, I wrote down this, and then look it up and find their new favorite thing, or like the new thing that they're going to share around or whatever. Like, that always made me so happy to think about that, the possibility that people could find a thing that they were super into because of that show. And that also holds true for, like, you know, the whole concept of hidden gems is talking about things that you're excited about. And obviously one of the reasons why I do not just Pat Baer's Anime Club, but also why I talk about the shows I'm watching. Yes, it is a thing that I could talk about that is a pop culture moment. Hey, here's a thing that I'm watching. Here are 2 shows that came out since the last time I streamed. Like, that is things for me to talk about, which is great, because what am I going to say right now? Right while I'm doing this. Hey, I'm applying very tiny stickers on this paddle, and it's annoying but not hard. That's what I would be saying about that. So instead, I can talk about, you know, panels that I've done. But yeah, Pat Baer's Anime Club makes me happy because it's like, it is a way for me to share the things I'm into. And yelling about the shows we like is kind of the culmination of that, right? Like, do I understand why some people in my life have said the following? Oh, how come no one told me about blank? And I've been talking about that thing. The latest one is Eizouken, which we'll talk about after the pause of the cause, which is coming up in a little bit. Keep your hands off Eizouken is the best show this season, which it's a bad season, but it's also incredible. And I keep seeing people being like, oh, I wish I'd been watching this since week 1. And it's like, motherfucker, listen to me. Lord Stockton says, and it's great because I hear about some anime you may have missed. Yeah, or things that you just decided weren't for you. Like, I get that there are shows out there, like, I'm not telling you about the the volleyball anime. I'm not super into sports anime. So I know that the volleyball anime is good. But somebody else who watches all sports anime and has, you know, detailed opinions about those, well, you might want to look to them more than you look to me. But if I tell you that one of my most anticipated anime of the spring season, which will be in April, is an isekai, but it is an otome. It is a dating game, and the main character realizes, or our main character realizes, oh, she's not the heroine in the story. She's woken up. She's the villain in this dating game. And what does that mean, and what does it entail? What happens when you realize that you are the antagonist in someone else's story? You've been reincarnated as an antagonist in a game, and all of the routes in this game, there's no good outcome for her. Like, that's the thing I'm anticipating. Now, I watch a lot of isekai, and I talk about a lot of isekai. So hopefully, if I tell you that this is my most anticipated thing, you could understand how that might be more. You might take that as, oh, that's from a place of understanding. In the same way that, like, even though I love Gunpla and I love Gundam stuff, I can't tell you much about Gundam builders because I haven't really watched it because I don't really like it. Am I excited? There's going to be a live action Gundam movie, not the Hollywood one, a Japanese one that is from that franchise, that the sub franchise within Gundam. Of course, I'm excited about that. But I can't give you like detailed opinions on it because I don't know that. I don't know those shows. I know mostly the kits that reference old kits. But if that big budget movie uh, gets a few other people to check out this Gundam in general, hell yeah. Dirty Ass, is this the one where she takes up farming when she is inevitably exiled from her kingdom? I believe so, Dirty. I don't know all the details. I know that people enjoyed the light novel. I have not read any of it. So this might be. I think in the trailer there is some shots of her doing farming. Like she has to get exiled, and then that's like yeah, things are changing. Uh, I'm interested in that. I mean, I'm interested in that. I'm interested in the isekai about which is the U.S. name. The Crunchyroll translated U.S. name is "So I'm a Spider. So what?" Which is just a great name for a show about someone who has been reincarnated as a spider in a fantasy world. I think it rules. I'm excited to see whatever the fuck that show ends up being. I have a pretty good idea what it's going to be. Um, yeah, but that's the thing. Like this particular panel, as I said, yelling about the shows we love, comes from a place of sometimes I get frustrated when I'm like talking about things, and then I just think like, or like, meh. Uh, oh wait, what? Oh, is that good? And you're like, yes, I've been saying. Like, I get it. Not everybody's gonna watch all the shows that I watch. Like, I think that Welcome to Demon School, while not great, is good, and I would recommend it. And obviously, part of that is, as I said, is one of the reasons why I recommend it so highly is because it is a double order of a comedy show, and there's going to be 23 episodes. That is not a common thing, and so I'm kind of sort of championing it because of that. Because I just think that that's so rad and cool. And does it feel like, well, we had the fallout of our big thing that was happening in the season, and now the last couple episodes are going to be this other story. It doesn't quite fit, and maybe it didn't actually need all of that. Yeah, but I think that's true of most shows that are double ordered. One of my favorite shows of the past few years, that time I got reincarnated as a slime, should not have been as many episodes as it was. Because they had one big story, one big plot, one big thing that kind of got, and then they had like an episode that was like a flashback thing about another character, and then they had this like mini arc that like I know is going to pay off, but certainly didn't in the moment, and it's like, why did we do this? Why are we doing this? This was like an 18 episode story. But then, like Dr. Stone, I think Dr. Stone as a double season was perfect. I think it was like a really solid, like the storytelling and the plotting of it. I think like fit with the number of episodes that it was given. It didn't feel rushed at all, but it also didn't feel like there was fluff episodes. Uh, and then I think I've definitely spoken about this how um, there's a few shows out there that like the second season comes out and you're like, this just feels like more of the first season. This feels like you were trying to get a double and you did not. Um, but yeah, overall I am so right now you can see the finished product here. Pardon my skin peeling. But right now I'm just this is it's busy work. but I do think it looks pretty cool. And am I exact with this stuff? No. Like, we can see, if you really want to look at it, there's this sticker here is not perfect. It should, but it's also got a bunch of bends and curves to it. And I'm like, yeah, I think it's okay. I'm all right with it not being perfect. Because as a thing that I try to stress when it comes to model kit building, any kind of this kind of thing is, yes, you are following instructions, but it's still the piece you're making. This is still my version of the Perfume Yuda. And without doing any mods to it, which of course you could modify it if you wanted to. But like, I'm going to choose, oh, good night, Harold. Thanks for coming by. As always, my friend, thank you for being here for part of the stream. Like, I'm going to choose if it's going to feel like it's above the water or under the water. That is an option we have. I'm going to make that call, which is my modification. I'm going to choose. We had the option to do dry transfers in a couple spots here. We chose to use the stickers. So at the end of the day, this is still going to be my version of the kit. And your assembly could be different if you're doing the same exact kit. And I think that's essential, to me anyway. And, you know, like, that's even beyond kit bashing and mods and, you know, aftermarket stuff. And, you know, if you're like, oh, I want to, you know, or my boy Brad, my buddy Brad from Oni, comic publisher, fantastic dude. Brad rules. Brad likes doing battle damage. That's his thing. He loves adding that. Sometimes he's recreating scenes with the thing from, you know, what it's known for. Sometimes he's just doing it himself. To him, just completing it isn't enough. He wants to go that step further. Okay. Sorry, just checking this thing. And great. All right. Yeah, to me it is a matter of choice for a lot of this stuff, right? Like, you know, early days I didn't do stickers because I figured it was how it looked, but sometimes I'll say this, sometimes if it's a really nice color, like sometimes eyes on a kit, on a 1/100 scale kit, if the eye color is like this great green piece of plastic, maybe you don't need to put the green sticker over it. Maybe the plastic is going to shine enough. It depends on the kit. It depends on the look of it. But like, to just assume that you need to do that sometimes I think is unnecessary. And I think so. There are plenty of people that are just like, well, that's a step, and that's what they told her to do. So we got to do that. I got to clear all this off. It's like, okay. I mean, you can. Certainly. I'm definitely not as precious with this stuff as some people are. In the construction, certainly. I'm certainly precious with the construction of model kits. But the actual, like, you know, some of the finer detail stuff, like, I'm just... Part of it is that I'm, you know, obviously I'm streaming this. It's a different case if I'm doing this. If I was doing it on my own, I might take my time more with it. I might really dive into it, but I also probably wouldn't be talking and checking. I mean, I would be checking Twitter. That's certainly true. If I was doing a kit for just funsies, I would definitely be checking Twitter and having a video on and looking up at the video. That's certainly true. But I wouldn't be talking while I did it. That's the different thing. All right, we were going to finish this paddle up, and then we will take our pause to the cause, and we'll start working on the rest of the Yudas, because the Yuda is here, but it goes underneath the boat, so we got to build that part soon. But right now we'll We just got to finish this up, and then we'll take our pause, and then I can talk about Eizouken. Finally, I mean, I already kind of talked about it, but this week's episode, Sunday night's episode, really got me because it was real good. It was real good, y'all. It was real good. So we'll talk about that in a minute or two. I don't know what else we'll talk about. We'll find something to chat about. To chit-chat about. Nothing super exciting for Toy Fair. Toy Fair happens. Nothing that like really stands out to me. Look, there's some Ninja Turtle action figures that are based on the Ninja Turtle video game, the arcade game, and that look really, really good. And there's also the first movie line has some figures that are really nice looking. There's an incredibly big Super Shredder that I certainly am going to covet, but I don't buy action figures, so that is not it. So, where'd my knife go? I dropped it. I dropped my X-Acto knife, everybody. So I'm going to attempt to find where'd it go? All right, well, keep talking as I do. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything that really stood out to me for Toy Fair, because I don't buy. I literally don't know where my X-Acto knife just rolled to. It obviously rolled somewhere. Maybe it rolled under. Did it roll underneath my computer? Whatever. I'll find it later. We'll work without it. We'll switch to tweezers. I literally I'll find it. It's not gonna. I'm not gonna. I didn't lose it in my bedroom, but I certainly don't know where it is right now. So we'll just switch to tweezers, which is be fine. Anyway, yeah, nothing super exciting at Toy Fair for me. But that's because I don't look like when Bluefin puts out a thing. I go, is this a figure rise kit or is this a figure? Like no, it's not. It's not a model kit action figure. Okay, it's just an action figure. All right. Well, I'm less interested in that. The possible exception of Great Saiyaman, which does look. The Great Saiyaman action figure looks so good that someday I might get that. Dirty, thank you for that. I am going to drink a little water, and of course I'll probably drink some at the end of our break. But I thank you, appreciate that, Dirty, for looking out. All right, so we're going to apply our paddles here. These paddles do move, which is kind of neat. You don't need them to, but they do. So that's fun. And we got our paddles on. And then we will, we have to build the Yudas, and we have to build the bottom of the boat, and we have to put a lot of stickers on there. And we're going to get to that part. Lord Crash says, plays a soundboard by request. Here's some soundboard stuff. Let's do. Yeehaw! That last wah is for me not knowing where my X-Acto knife rolled to. Hello. This is the pause to the cause, folks. This is our brief time, a couple minutes, 5 minutes, where I talk about ways you can support the stream if that's something you'd like to do. You're under no obligation to do so, but if you would like to support the stream, here are ways you can do that. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber, let's throw the Baer Cave, the Lego, the site, the moat in the chat. Let the people know. I would love to, so Silver Streak this month gifted 2 subs, which is rad. You can use your Twitch Prime coin. You link your Amazon account, your Twitch account. Use that Prime coin with me. You could also become a subscriber with Cash Money, which is another great way to support the stream. We're at 38 subscribers this month, which is rad. I would love to get that up to 40. It's okay if we don't, but that would be nice. So if you've been on the fence about it, if you've been thinking about it, that's a great way to support the channel. Bits and coins, always appreciated. Always nice to see that. You don't have to, of course, but if you'd like to, you're more than welcome to do that. That is the case all the time, and I always try to make that clear. Everything I'm about to say here are ways you can support the channel are fully optional. You are under no obligation ever, and I never want people to think that you don't even have to chat. You can just hang out. If you just want to watch streams when I put streams up, great. I do have a Patreon, and I put a Q&A video up over the weekend. I do a monthly Q&A that is the only exclusive thing I do, because I do a Q&A, like usually 2 to 3 questions, that goes out to my Patreon, and that's the only people who see it. That's the way to support me, is through Patreon, if you'd like to do that. What else do I have? I have various things to tell you about. You can also donate. So, Patreon, Twitch, donations, all that goes to buying model kits and equipment. Some builds, like this build, take a little while because they are involved. Lots of stickers, lots of decal work. Some kits don't take that long. Our next kit that we're going to build when this is finished, which will probably be after PAX, I don't think we're going to finish this. We're definitely not going to finish today. I don't know if we're going to finish it on Wednesday. We got this double heat metal, the Kamen Rider. This isn't going to take too long. Most of this Kamen Rider thing is like applying, like, there's like a couple stickers like here. It's mostly just like snapping it together. It's going to be a quick build. It's going to look rad, and I'm psyched about doing another Kamen Rider kit like that because I think it's a cool idea. The doubles, I think, are particularly really cool. So buying donations, that kind of thing, lets me buy kits so we can build things on stream. Now this, though, was bought off my wish list. Ultron picked this up off my wish list, and if you would like to buy something off my Amazon wish list, I will link to it right now, and you could buy something from there, and then it gets sent to me, and then I build it on stream. And I'll talk about a couple things I put on here. Right now, the Pikachu is on sale. That would be a fun build to do. Some Lego stuff, some high grades that are very inexpensive, especially compared to a master grade. Some $20 high grades, as I said. There's another Kamen Rider in there, the Rabbit Tank form, which is a cool looking kit. That's in there. The pre-order for Bardock, that's Goku's dad. There's a pre-order for that. That's coming out at the end of this week. Pre-orders will be up for that. Yeah, I have a bunch of things in there. Some papercraft kits, bunch of different things that are in there waiting for me to build them in the future. And I could build them vis-a-vis you buying them, and then I build them. And then I also buy things off my own wish list and buy them as well. It's a great place for me to keep things that I would like to buy at some point. You're under no obligation, obviously, to do that. And if you were like Pat, I would buy something, but I don't want to use Amazon. What do? Well, you could buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. That's an online retailer for stuff. And you buy a gift card from that, and then I'll use that gift card towards the purchase of a model kit. We could do that. Let's see. I have a Discord. We're going to get back to building in just a moment or two, but I do want to plug my Discord. Join my Discord. I post photos for every build at the end of every stream. And people post photos of things they're working on. You can see what people are doing. Sometimes people do stuff like, I'm 3D printing this, or I bought this kit, or I put this Lego set together, or check out this furniture that I put together and modified. It's fun and cool, and I really enjoy that aspect. Let's see. If you missed Baering the List that I put out last Wednesday, Baering the List, if you missed Baering the List, that rhymed unintentionally. Here's Baering the List from last week. What did I do on that one? Well, I talked about Dragon Maid characters, and I have received no feedback on that one. I did get some, but I didn't think that was going to be a controversial one because most people are going to be like, yeah, that character's problematic. Yeah, that character's great. Yeah. It's kind of weird that we don't know Kobayashi's first name. That's weird. You're right, Pat. I never thought about that until you brought it up. But yeah, it wasn't going to be super controversial. It is weird that we don't know a character's first name. We only know her last name. It is a little weird. What else? Also, last week I put up Pat Baer's Anime Club, talking about the anime awards that were a little while ago. And then, so if you missed that, you can check that out. Next one, which is going to go up on Monday. No, Lashbrook. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid's main character, Kobayashi, Her first name is not Miss. She is. It's good. That's a good bit. It's a good bit of business. But yeah, my next Pet Bears Anime Club is on Monday because I'm going to PAX, y'all. I'm going to PAX. I have panels at PAX that I am doing. I will say what those are very briefly. Then we'll get back to building. So I'll go through those right quick here. All right, let me just find the media. I have it in an image. So I just want to look at my images here, so that I can tell you those things. All right. Let's see. Where is it? I put it up. Sorry. Okay. This Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, I will be a contestant on the Easy Baking Challenge that will be live streamed on twitch.tv/PAX3, also hosted in this very chat. Friday, if you're at PAX, 11 a.m., the Bobcat Theater for Hidden Gems. I'm a guest on that panel. The Improvised Postmortem is also this Friday. It will be streamed on twitch.tv/PAX2 in the Dragonfly Theater at 7:30 p.m. That's my show. Great people involved with that. Pat Bear's Anime Club is Saturday at 6 p.m. It will be filmed, and it will go up to everybody that Monday, yelling about the shows we love. I'm going to film it. And then, directly after that, still Saturday, the 29th, 7:30 p.m., in the same theater, directly after, Dave Lang's Let's Rank It. It will be a Saturday night one, and most of the people that do that are people who are working that weekend, more so than just doing panels like me, and so they might be very tired, and I think that's going to be a silly show. I'm looking forward to that one. That one might be a little wackadoo, but I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, and then I'm going to be on something on Sunday, but I can't tell you. Oh, why didn't that work? My Nightbot command for anime didn't work, y'all. I don't know why. Oh, there it goes. It worked. Took a second. I don't know why it didn't at first. We're going to talk about anime while we work on our anime kit here. So we are going to be constructing the rests of our Yuda here that are going to go along the bottom of our ship. So we will disassemble, clip these pieces, and then we will start assembling them together. So this is A1. So this is A2. Occasionally, when you're taking things out of a bag, they might come off the line here, like they did there. Oh, I put a period at the end. I didn't even see that. You're right. There was a period there. Weird. Should not have been a period there. I do not know why that happened. Okay, but that is why. All right. So let's talk about the one that I want to talk about the longest here. Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken. They screened the anime short. This coalition of a director of animation who's doing the backgrounds and the storyboards and a lot of the art, the animator. We really focused on her in this one, and of course their producer. But they also have, because the Sound Club is just one member and is now using some of their space, they have gotten the Sound Club member to work on stuff. This short was sponsored by the Robot Club. The Robotics Club sponsored it as a way to showcase how cool robots are, because they want to get more money out from the Student Council in the future and get more members. So they sponsored this anime about a cool robot. It took place in the school, which is what they kind of wanted to do for so long. And it was at a school festival, so they're trying to get people's attention. Well, their animator, and I don't know if I said this in the show, one of the things that's kind of cool about her, she is a amateur model. She's just kind of goofed around with modeling because her parents are both well-known actors in the world of Eizouken, and so she is like a minor celebrity at the school. And then they kind of said "Hey, it's about robots. It's a short that students made, and it takes place in the school." And so they're just trying their best to get people to come to the thing because they want to take pre-orders for the DVD release, which I think is just a really smart thing, because they need that seed money, and that they're not going to sell. They need the seed money of the pre-orders to actually make the DVDs. And it's so you get to see them. You get to see this robots club, the robotics club, right? What do they do to promote? They dress up in cardboard boxes, like cardboard box robots, and they start like flyers, and they start making a show of things. They shoot off a rocket thing, a little a water pressured rocket to kind of promote. There's a whole chase scene that like in other episodes would have been like their imagination, but is actually real life in the show. That's really interesting. And we get to see like the robotics club. Like this got me choked up. They love robots. They love especially robot anime, but robots in general so much that like they know that getting people into this auditorium, like they're using the fact that there's this amateur model and like she's not in it, she made it, which you think would be just as much a selling point, but it's not. But they're like, hey, there's a meet and greet. You can shake your hands. She's gonna sign photos if you want to have like she'll sign that, and like your pre-ordered copy will be signed. Like they're doing everything they can to get people there. But the Robotics Club goes above and beyond because they're like, this is our moment. It really got me. Like obviously the poignant thing of the episode was supposed to be, I certainly, and was, the parents of this girl who, didn't realize just how much this is how she's showcasing her art. They thought that she should be an actress, but she's an animator. This is how it is for her. And them kind of coming to terms with her having her own identity and making her own choices, and them supporting those choices isn't like as like that's a big thing of this episode. And I think that did get me. That it certainly did. I certainly appreciated that. But also, when the dude in the robot costume, the cardboard robot costume, went down a zip line, and before he got on the zip line, he switched out of one box into another box that had wings on it because he took flight. Because if you're going to fly in a cardboard robot costume, and you're going to fly in it, you damn well better have wings on. That got me just as much. And the first time that the robot like attacks the monster in the short that they're showing, and the audience like, well, first of all, one of the things that's really cool is the audience like reacts to, like, there's a couple people that react to the fact that it's like looks like the school, and they're like, oh, that's where we are. Like that kind of reaction gets me. Like there's something about watching that, and part of it is like the thing of like they didn't finish in time. They're doing all of the dialogue live in the auditorium, and their sound person is mixing it live. And like, yeah, man, sometimes things just aren't done. When you have a deadline like that and you are a student, yeah, sometimes things just don't work. You just do whatever you can do and hope for the best. But it really felt like, I don't know, it's... Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken is special. I think the art style is beautiful. It is. I understand why. While it is not super popular right now in Japan, it's growing a little bit. They're not putting it on at a better time slot. It's getting some buzz. When you think about, well, who are the target audiences for animation in Japan? And it's a wide thing, and there are different categories in there. And you think about, like, well, who is big on anime in the rest of the world? And a lot of people might say, oh, I don't watch a lot of anime. I do watch this and this and this, because they think of it as like television or streaming or whatever. But in other parts of the world, particularly, we talk about the U.S. because that's where I'm at, so it's easier to talk about that. In the U.S., like, the target demographic for people who watch for a show about anime and how awesome anime is, the creative process is, are people who are predisposed to think that anime is pretty damn great. Because even though it's easier than it's ever been, you still have to work to see it. You still have to go out of your, like, the people that watch anime that don't put any effort into watching anime are people who don't consider what they're watching to be anime. If that makes any sense. Like, I'm sure there are a lot of people that say, oh, I don't watch anime, that watched Pokemon and loved Pokemon. Or they watched Dragon Ball. Or they watched Sailor Moon. But that's just a cartoon that they watch along with the cartoons that they watch. So it makes sense that Eizouken is like that game designers that I know, and artists that I know, and musicians that I know, and comedians are drawn to it because it is a love letter to the creative process and to DIY, and it's just, and the art style is really interesting, and I think and the like people who play phone games who aren't gamers. Yeah, Aristophan a little bit like that. They are, yes. Yeah, but they wouldn't necessarily consider themselves gamers. Like, my mom plays more Bejeweled than I play Hearthstone. But I don't know she would not consider herself a gamer. But she plays a lot of one game. Yeah, and I think that's the same thing. Like but it makes sense why it's like number 30 on the most popular anime shows in Japan right now. But on streaming services, it's people's favorite show this season. Those numbers are different. That demographic is different. I think Eizouken originally was going to be on my Pat Bear's Anime Club, but honestly, it doesn't need it. I think that other people are doing the job for it. Other people are promoting it. It's like, I can tell you that the director of Devilman Crybaby did it, and that might sway you. I can say that it's got, art style reminds me a lot of more than any other anime. It reminds me more of the Gorillas. And that it's got this freedom of art that feels different from other things. That the digital and computer generated stuff, computer generated doesn't look computer generated. It looks digital. That I think it just looks like an incredible show. But I think that the people who are going to love it are going to find it. And I might as well be instead of, I'm approaching Pat Bear's Anime Club yelling about the shows we love as I'm going to tell you, about a genre. Most of the shows that I am going to be talking about are slice of life, because I think people are I don't know what that means. I don't know why I would be into that show or that genre. And I'm going to tell people about, my favorite shows in that genre. Because I think that is an approach. And I can say, hey, you should check this out. I think this show is totally worth your time. And if you're I don't really watch whatever, I'm okay, well, this show is about this. And you're oh, okay. This show is about this. You've seen this clip before. Well, here's the thing that it was from. And I can kind of, sell a little bit why I like the things that I like. More than be hey, this show that your friends won't shut up about, I also think it's good. Anyway, that was a lot. It was a really good episode. And also, look, I don't know. I'll never know, because I don't know if anyone's going to do an interview about this. But I think that Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken gave a shout out to Naruto fans and in a larger sense the fan sub community that specifically is around Naruto. I've talked about this on the stream before. How fan subbers change the meaning of a term to a thing that it does not have, and it is Naruto and One Piece fan subbers did this. And it's particularly in One Piece, which is important for this, but also the Naruto fan community has it as well, which is putting emphasis on the term on what they transfer to as comrades. The last part of this episode of Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken says, the parents of one of the girls says, "Oh, are these your friends?" And they're like, "No, we're nakama. We're comrades," which does not mean that in the way that fan subbers decided it meant. They saw the term and they started capitalizing it, or in some instances, not translating it. Obviously, the pirate crew is incredibly important in One Piece, right? Straw Hat Pirates, their crew is incredibly important to them. That is a thing that is obviously an element of it that we're going to see, like, time and time again. They're always going to be talking about the pirate crew, the crew. So yeah, fan subbers decided that word was special and meant something more than it does. It doesn't. It just means crew or friends or whatever. But it was given significance that it doesn't need, which is weird. So I'm like, is this a reference to that? Is this a reference to to fan subs by like making it a point to say, and then or is that like, it's like, oh, are these like whatever? What, I don't know. The talk page for Namaka on the One Piece wiki is always a fun read. Yes, it is completely ridiculous. But so I have to wonder if that was intentional, because like it could have been, is this your club? Are these your friends? No, they're my club members, or they're my crew. Instead, it was like, no, I'm going to say they're my comrades, which, like, I'm like, I think this is a fucking fan sub One Piece and Naruto reference. That's fucking cool. I don't know if it is. I'm waiting for the fucking think pieces to come out about it, but I think it is. Actually, legitimately, I wonder if there was a conversation at the official translation, if they were gonna say comrades, or if they were not gonna translate it. Be like, they're my nakama. I wonder if that conversation came up. I'm not doing this bit justice, but it was an odd bit of business at the end of that episode that I was surprised by. What should I say? Oh, other two episodes. I have less to say. Room Camp. Room Camp is still great. We got to see some character stuff. There was the foreign person who was being lied to and enjoyed the stories. There was a lot of silly stories. It was light. It was fine. Like, there's nothing really to write home about when it comes to Room Camp. If you loved Laid Back Camp, it's a silly short version of Laid Back Camp with the characters you like. I mean, unless Rin is your number one character, 'cause she doesn't really get a lot to do in it. Um, it's still a fun little thing, but I would say if you were casually enjoyed Laid Back Camp, Room Camp, you can just wait for it to all be over and watch it in one sitting, really, or two sittings. It's still good. And then let's see, what else. What else? What else? What else? Oh yeah. Yatogame-chan. This was an interesting episode. So I've talked about this show. It is a show about Nagoya, the region of Nagoya. You know, a kid from Tokyo moves there, learns what it's like to live in this part of Japan. It's characters that live there and all that. Um, this one was out about how Nagoya has a 45 and 46 has a castle that apparently this is the first time that people who live in this region who love, like who go out of their way to like either they actually love or they pretend to love everything about their region are like, oh yeah, it sucks. Nah, you don't want to go to that castle. And he wants to go there to take photos, and they're like, nah, it's lame. And even Yatogame-chan, who somewhat probably forces herself to think that she loves this place, is like, nah. And I guess this is all true. It's just a weird thing where I'm like, I'm learning about this region of Japan, I guess, and I'm telling you about it, is that the castle burned down and they call it like the concrete place that looks like a castle, and that's apparently accurate. And it's got like a gift shop and a museum, but like it's not impressive, so nobody wants to go there. Uh, and then there was a bit where the teacher was like again hanging out in the closet, and I don't understand that. It is implied that she was doing that the entire first season. This show is another like 3-minute episode thing, but it's such a weird thing to be like, yep, here's this character. She's the advisor for the photography club, but doesn't want to be seen. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird little thing. Uh, it's 3 minutes of my life, so what are you gonna do? But yeah, of course, Wednesday, the next time I stream Model Kit Building, which will be on Wednesday, I will of course be able to talk about Black Clover in this new chapter, the search for demons and more discovering about demons. The road trip saga begins for the Black Bulls, so I'll be able to chat about that. And on Wednesday, I can also talk about Boofery as we get ready for the tournament or the next event, the first ever guild event in the game, and then maybe some shenanigans are going to take place. I don't know. Sounds like there might be some shenanigans. We'll see. I don't think that show is going to add stakes to it. It doesn't feel like the vibe for it. I hope they don't. I hope they don't artificially like the stakes of Bofree. One of the reasons why I like it is the fact that it doesn't really have stakes. The stakes are that uh, oh, the friendship element, and they want to have fun and continue to like be a fun crew, and now a fun guild and a fun weird guild, and with their odd builds, and everyone's having a good time, and friendship is the thing. It's succeeding here and there, but like mostly it's like the friendship, like the low keyness of the show, to then like add major stakes, like outside of like, oh, we want to succeed in this thing, or oh, they cheated. We want to beat them in their own game. I'm like, that to me is gonna be fine. But if they're like, oh, well, if you die at this point, you lose everything. You lose your house and blah, blah, and, oh, Maple's parents don't want her to play, and how's that going to affect the game? And I'm like, well, I don't think that's where we're going, but I'm not as interested in that if that's where it ends up going. If that makes sense. Lashbrick says, I finished Carol on Tuesday, and I really did not expect the back half to go to the direction it did. Bummed there doesn't seem to be plans for any more, though. Yeah, I mean, you never know when it comes to stuff. I mean, that is the beauty and also the agony of anime. If I can attempt a little poetry. One of the best things about anime is that it often doesn't overstay its welcome. Sometimes there are shows that have hundreds of episodes, but most shows have like 12 or 13, and maybe an OVA with the Blu-ray release, and maybe they get a second season. But a lot of shows never see another season. They just come in and then they go, and you're there to enjoy it, and you can hopefully appreciate it for a little while, and then it just moves on and leaves you there enjoying the show, but then, you got to find a new thing to like. And then, like I said, well, I always say this, I'm like imagine really being into a show and you love it, and it's the anime that you're like, this is going to be a rad show, and I'm bummed, and then it's only like 10 episodes. I always think about that. Now, I didn't particularly love Problem Children Are Coming to This World. I think that it suffers a lot. It starts off really strong, and then the second arc in the episodes, I think, is not great. I think it's good, but not great. So but it also only has 10 episodes, and it just felt like, I'm like, that's weird. That's a weird choice. Just give it 10. But I don't know anything about what's happened there. I'm like, I wonder if it had 12, if that second arc would have been more satisfying. But I don't know. Yeah, it is a weird thing where, and then some shows like are double orders and get a movie and a second season, and sometimes you're like, oh hell yeah, and then other times you're like, what? Ari Fuerte is getting a second season? What? That show is actively not good, and we're going to see more of it? Like, alright, well, I'm sure some people are very happy about that, and good for them. I mean, I made my thoughts on that particular anime, I think, very clear. I know I think that it's bad, and I'm genuinely very surprised that it is getting, that it had gotten another season like ordered like while it was happening. I don't know. Oops. But yeah, you never know. Sometimes people have their favorite shows and you just never see any more of it. They come and go. Sometimes shows that are incredibly popular just never have anything else, and you're like, and then sometimes shows that get a second season ordered while their first season starts strong and then tanks, and they're like, well, I guess we'll hope the second season does well. You get like 1,000,000 episodes of Fate, and you're like, or the Fate series has like 1,000 different incarnations. Like, I have no real opinion on any of the Fate shows, but even I could be like, dang, there are a lot of shows in this series. Also, I started in 2/3 through Food Wars manga, and as someone who used to watch a lot of Iron Chef, I'm digging a lot. Yeah, Lastbrook, when it's not unbelievably and unabashedly way too goddamn fucking horny, that's a great story. The competitive nature of it, the characters are very strong and I think very fun. I think obviously the anime is a lot because of the fact that it is not just motion but also sound. Like the honey stuff, like probably in the manga is like a lot, but it's more. It's definitely more when you're watching the anime. It's more in your face. Just a lot going on. Not super, like, I like to think that I don't mind a little bit of that now and again. And also, as the show goes on, it does become less and less of it. But in the beginning, it is just so ridiculous, pervy. Or an anime you really like is one season on purpose, and they do a side story show you don't want to watch because you are afraid it will be bad. Yeah, Lord Stockton, the side series or the spin-off series it sometimes can leave you a little worried. Yeah, you're not wrong there. Sometimes the show has it's like, oh, well, that character wasn't great. I don't know why you would follow that character. I guess. Okay. Little boy. Yeah, well, speaking of Food Wars, there's an OVA episode that is all about the Italian brothers. And you're like, the Aldini brothers. And you're like, I don't know if these guys can carry an episode. And it's a pretty good episode. It's an OVA, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty solid episode of the show. Like, all right. Okay. So, I'm going to attach this here. If we wanted to, we could call this build complete. And we could be done with this kit. You know, like, like, obviously, there's more to build with it, right? We still have to put the sails up. And then there's a version of the bottom that is in water. But, also, I love how big this thing is compared to the little water stand it gives you. Like, that doesn't... But, we've done a lot of work on this kit, and it's a solid... we have obviously more to do, but yeah, it's coming along. And then it's time to sail. But yeah, we've got sails to attach. We've got the anchors to put on. We have to. What you can do is you can take this part off. You can take the bottom of the boat off, and then replace these paddles with ones that don't have the bottom three on it, and then that will allow you to display that. But we have to start working on our sails. Now, luckily, other than the water transfers that we will do, the sails do not require... some of the sails we've had for these kits would just be all the stickers, because you would be doing like a lot of like black sticker work here on the sails. Luckily, we don't have that. In our time left, let's try to do instead of building the sail pieces and doing that, let's try to put our water transfers on here. We've got 2 to put on, or 3 to put on. And we'll try to do that. And then we will, on Wednesday, we will attach these. That'll be good. And we got more to build. We got to build the masts and all that, but that'll be the last thing we do on the stream is do this, because I have the water out, and that way they can sorry about that. That way they can really dry before we do anything else. So we have 3 water transfers to put on here. Which we will do. We have the Jolly Roger here, and then we have the kanji for, I think, Kuja Pirates. I believe that is what we're dealing with here. I apologize if I'm getting that wrong. I wish I could find where that went. All right, well, we'll just use... see, do I have anything here? See if I can use. We'll just use this to cut it out here. I don't want to do that. All right. Let's try here. Okay. All this here, dunk it in some water. And we're just going to, get this nice and wet here. Try to really get it saturated. And then we will try to transfer. And we are going here on the base. And we will have more water to be able to move things around if this doesn't work. But it should work this time better than it did before. And then we will hold this here. We'll get some water on this. We'll try to slide it. Did not work. Put the water there. Put some water on that. Okay. Can try the lift method. Yeah, but we'll try to get these on the end of the stream here. Again, I am no expert in this. I'm doing based on what I've learned and hoping that I'm doing it all right. Okay. There. And then all right. Get the paper to separate from the sticker. Yes. Alright, and then line this up where we need it. Use this to move it. There. Pat it down with the water where we want it, which is about here. And then we will just try to get off whatever excess water without it sliding around. All right. And some people will spray hairspray or clear coat of something on here when it is done. But we will let that dry, and then hopefully in 2 days it'll be perfect. And just prepping our next piece here for the water transfer treatment. Again, if I had my X-Acto knife on me, this would be easier, but I don't have it, so just gonna do my best here. Okay, so put that on there. And using this as reference for where we want it. And get it saturated and try to slide this on where we want it. It's not working, so. And one thing we can always do is if the transfer doesn't transfer, if it just doesn't do what we need it to do, it just isn't working, we can put it where we need, and then we can basically set it where we want it, and then try to cover it with like masking tape. It's not masking tape, Scotch tape. That is obviously not the solution that we want, but it is a possible solution to our issue. I prefer not to do that. That's not going to look great. But if the alternative is not having them at all, that's not really an alternative. There, and we will put this, just go like that. And then backing off this one. Running some issues with this one. Get the backing off here. I would not necessarily advise the method I'm currently using here, but I do know that it does work. This is not the preferred method by any means. Especially if you want this to last. If this is going to go on display, I would not do it the way I'm doing it. But it will adhere. And that is what we want. Right. Then put down there. We can go back. All right. And I got a little quiet at the end of there, and I apologize for that, but I did want to get these done. Again, I don't know if these are going to stay, if this is going to work. I might have to do a little more fine-tuning, more finagling. But overall, I am pleased with how they went out there, even if it isn't my greatest work. So, my next build stream will be on Wednesday. You're more than welcome to come hang out on the stream this coming Wednesday instead of a Thursday stream, because I'm going up to Boston Thursday morning, shipping up to Boston. Tomorrow, I am doing an 8 p.m. Eastern stream. I would love for you to come hang out and see that. That stream will be a Twitch Sing stream. It is a bonus stream where I'm singing songs in Twitch Sings, you donate $5. You pick any song. If you want me to sing Demi Lovato's version of Let It Go, I will sing that. If you want me to sing both parts of Barbie Girl, I'll sing that. you've got so much power. That's tomorrow night, and all the money goes there for just like me having a better PAX. That's all it is. This will be a little thing I'm going to do tomorrow. Or you can just come and hang out for a Twitch Sing stream, which is also fun. You can just do that if you wanted to. It's going to be a fun stream. That's tomorrow. I am going to play an ad. You don't have to watch that. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you everybody that renewed. Thanks for folks that hung out and chatted with me while I was building. And if you didn't chat, that's also cool too. Thanks so much. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. hopefully. And if not, definitely on Wednesday for the next Build with Baer. Have a great one. Enjoy this ad, I guess. Bye.